Hey kiddos, it's your dad here. So there's a lot of talk right now about how AI is going to replace your job. It's going to take your job. You are not going to. Your future looks pretty bleak according to a lot of people, like a dystopian future. And I want to give you this one skill that AI can never replace, and that is becoming the asset manager for your life. What do I mean by that? So AI might be able to replace a skill like graphic design. It might be able to um, replace you as a programmer. There might be a lot less of these types of jobs in the future, these types of trades. But the one thing that AI can't replace is you managing your own life. Being an asset manager, you have to think of it as in terms of how do you minimize the mistakes and compound your gains. Compound gains, not mistakes, is the is a quote from one of my coaches, who is teaching me how to be able to compound my wealth through trading. But being an asset manager doesn't just mean that you have to trade. The way that I look at being an asset manager for your life is, how are you living your life to be able to manage your finances in all aspects, so that way you can live a better life, that you can have more life. So being able to understand, keeping your cost of living low. How do you keep your cost of living low? What is your freedom number? How much do you need in order to be truly financially free? Do you understand real estate? Can you keep your cost of living lower and also maybe turn a liability like a house into an asset that produces income, gives you that freedom? For example, I have a property that I purchased when I was in the military. Joined the military, I got the VA loan, no money down. I purchased this property, and we purchased it with the intent to be able to split it, so that way the basement would cover our mortgage and then the top would produce income. And to me, that made sense. To your mother and I, that's one of the ways that we were being asset managers for our life. Having roommates, I had roommates. I mean, I had roommates up until recently when we moved to Columbia, and that we could afford to live by ourselves. But even when, ever since I left the house at 18, I always had roommates. My first place that I moved into, I found a guy on Craigslist. Maybe dates me, but found rented this place from this guy, and then another when I relocated, and even when I lived with your mom and we got married, we had a roommate, and we rented out this place and split it, and we were able to keep our cost of living low there. Even when we purchased our house, we rented out the basement on Airbnb, and then when we left, we rented out the top and rented out the bottom, and now it's an income producing asset. So understanding real estate is one part of being the asset manager for your life. Not taking out bad debt. I never had student debt. I always paid my credit cards off full every month. I always kept my subscription or my monthly recurring costs as low as possible. And that way, my income, the money that I was making, was more than what I was spending, which is a problem that a lot of people face, is that they spend more than they bring in. I watch the show Caleb Hammer, and you always see people, maybe they make $4,000 and they spend 8 or 10, and it doesn't matter how much money they make, they're always spending like double. So being able to cook, a lot of people don't cook. That being an asset manager is being your own personal chef. Learning how to be able to purchase and buy things for cheaper and keep your meal costs affordable. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't enjoy your life. I'm not saying don't forego. People say forego the coffee, forego the Starbucks, or cut these things and live super lean and minimal. We go out and we'll enjoy a nice expensive meal, or I pay for subscriptions for things that I like and I enjoy and add value to my life. But being an asset manager also means, what are the things that you need to cut? What areas of your life can you decrease? Your income. Are you able to increase your income and your skills? For me, I got started into entrepreneurship ever since I was a kid, but online business, I've been doing this for over a decade now, and that's something that it wasn't an instant. It wasn't like, I started this business and then it was successful. No, it was trial and error, start and stop, failure and investing and trying and doing all these things until I gained these skill sets that allow me to be able to make income in various ways. Selling books, creating websites, doing affiliate marketing with like Amazon and YouTube videos and courses, coaching, all of these different things that I've tried, property management, all these different businesses were skills that I was learning, and that's something that can't be taken away from me. AI can't take away the skills that you learn. AI can't take away your resourcefulness. AI can't take away how you approach your finances. AI can't take away you looking at a piece of real estate and deciding, is this a good investment or not? Am I able to produce an income, or is this going to be a liability? A car. Can I rent out my car? Is this going to be a car that I can purchase for cash? Even recently, I just because we've been going to the U.S., and we could have been renting a car whenever we go, and we only go periodically every so often now, but that's an expense to rent a car and be able to travel around. So I purchased a car from my aunt for like $3,000 cash. It's a 2011 or 2007 Subaru Outback, and has the space, so I don't need to pay for storage. We just keep things in the car, and I don't need to keep on paying an expensive payment on it. The insurance is really cheap on it, and that's a way that I'm thinking, okay, keep the cost low. It saves me money when we travel. Is our storage, gives us that space, that luxury. So these are just things like that. Being the asset manager of your life, you're thinking about, is this going to be setting me up better for the long run? Are the skills that I'm learning now going to be able to give me income producing ability in the future? Are the decisions that I'm making today going to set me up for the future? If I want to be able to travel, and I was always thinking in the future, ever since I was young, I was always thinking, what's going to set me up for later. It didn't play out exactly the way that it happened in my head. Nothing of my life was as I expected when I was younger, but it was thinking about these things and looking at everything as the asset manager of my life, keeping my costs low, real estate, skill sets, investing, crypto or stocks, 401ks, all of these little things. I like to say that I'm kind of like a Swiss Army knife. I never got like really, really good at one thing. I learned how to be able to use a bunch of different things effectively to be able to get what I needed to get, learn what I needed to learn, and set myself up for this retirement lifestyle. And now I'm just focused on how can I manage what I have and grow and compound that wealth and the income that we bring in through the investments and through real estate and through the online businesses. How can I take that and transform it into more without trying to put a lot of pressure on myself to achieve X result by X date, and also not having, still having goals and still setting them, but not again detracting away from the most important area of my life, which is spending time with the family and being present, in mind and in body, but also still working towards those goals. So I look at it as a healthy way. But this is being the asset manager of your life is when I was younger and I had the time, we didn't have you guys, the kids. I sacrificed a lot of my life. I wasn't hanging out and partying with friends. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't spending money on alcohol. I wasn't spending all my time watching Netflix and doing these things. I was working. I was building. I was creating. Spent all that time in real estate and investing and in crypto and business and leveling up my skills and trying out college and seeing. I got my associate's degree. I decided not to continue that, but again, these are things that I was trying to become an officer and pursuing my career in the military and doing all of these things was what I was focused on, and that set me up to where at 30 I'm retired. I've been retired for a couple of years now, and now we're moving to Japan, and I'm just managing the assets of my life, of our life now, in different forms. And now I'm just focused on primarily just investing and trading. But again, this is something that AI is never going to be able. AI can't replace me and the skills that I've learned. AI can replace a job. AI could replace my ability to. AI could replace my ability if I was I was an IT in the Coast Guard. AI could replace a lot of the jobs that I was doing in the military, but it can't replace the property that I purchased. It can't replace the skills that I've learned. It can't replace the businesses and the things that I've created, the books that I sell on Amazon. All of these things, AI can't replace that. AI can create and do those things, but AI is also not going to replace me. AI is not going to replace this video and me talking directly to you and giving my perspective as your father on life. So become the asset manager for your life. Learn how to be able to manage, and that's why I'm making these videos and sharing this advice, is because I want to be able to set you guys up for success in the future, and whatever that future might look like. This is how I would approach it, and this is how I am approaching it while going through it. So hope this helps.